G'day, it's the 30th of May, and so I've been home for a week and catching up on stuff. And so what's going on here? So these iceberg lettuces are forming up beautifully, nearly ready to eat, I reckon. That's cool. All this stuff is growing really nicely. This celery, I reckon we can start picking some bits off that and eating it. Tomatoes are doing well. I'm beating, look at that, my dear wife hasn't eaten these. Everything's good. I've trained these up and moved them along in the lower and lean technique and trimmed off some extra suckers that were coming on there. On these brassicas, the cabbages and etc. We had some aphids and I've treated them with, what's it called? Yates Success Ultra, so spinosad, added a little bit of white oil just to make it stick, and I'll just keep an eye on these aphids. If they don't go away, I'll hit them again with, I reckon I'll just hit them with a little bit of white oil and pyrethrum. So that's that. Everything's kicking ass. Now I need to build this flood and drain table. So now I need to build this flood and drain table. What I've done, I made a little drawing there. Basically that's the frame that's going to go in under this. I'm going to make it out of this steel tube, which is from trampolines. And I bought some fittings. So again, I'm using these fancy fittings. And we'll build that. And I'll start cutting some steel pipe and put this together. Also, what I will do is, here's the fill point on this side, and I will put another fill point up the other end so that it evens out the flooding. We'll do that in a while. And then the other thing I've just done is put up this power box here now. And this electronic controller is now thermostat controlled for the fan. And it's I've set it for 27 degrees C, and then I've left I've got plenty of power points there, so that's a good thing. It'll exclude the rain. I can put a door on it, which I'll probably put a door over it and try and make it look okay. Okay, so looking at these pipe clamps, where the bolts come through, the pipe won't go there, so I need to cut it a bit shorter. So I've marked out all the, marked that corner on each one, and I've worked it out that, I'll just do a quick drawing there. So I need 950 times 12 of those, that's these pieces. And then these actually, over here, in the middle of the, we have more of these clamps, and that works out to be 950 again. And then the reservoir, I'm going to use this one over here, this white one that I used before, and that's 460 mil high, and then this is 120. This is the height of this plastic tray, so I'll add about 100 on it to give me a bit of space to work underneath it. So that gives the overall height at 670, and I need 6 legs. So I've got my steel stock here, which is tubes from trampoline frames that I got off the side of the road, and previously I used these for a little shade house. So I'm going to use these to build the frame for the flood and drain. Set up, I've got this little table, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to screw these pieces of timber down just to give me something which I can work with, and then I can clamp this down when I'm cutting the pipe. I'm just going to cut it with this angle grinder with a cutting blade on it, and I've got some clamps and safety, got some glasses and ear puffs, a square, some gloves, and we're good to go. Okay, so did you follow that? Screwed that all together, and then I thought a piece of mesh under the tray will strengthen it. And then I'm going to put that cross brace, and then one this way, and then that should help. And stand by. Okay, so that's the stand complete. Now I just got to turn it upside down and fit the tray into it. And also, as I said, I'm going to put another fill here. What I do is just drill a hole with this hole saw, and put that through, put some Celastic on it, and do it up from the other side, and then screw this 13mm into there, and run a line back to the pump, and then it'll fill both ends, make it more even. Okay, so that's up the right way, and ready to fit this other flooding thing here. What I've done is I've drilled a 19mm hole in there with a hole saw, and then I've cut this off, and I'll install it up from the bottom, screw it down on the top with a bit of silicone around this roof and gutter sealant on the bottom and also on the top, and then leave it 24 hours to dry. Okay, now I'm ready to fill it. I'll put this piece of shade cloth over it, mainly so I can screen away from the drainage holes on both ends, and then I'll fill it with stones. Okay, so now it's the next day. I've filled the bed with the 5mm 1/4 inch gravel, and raked it off level. So that's the stones that came out of it before, plenty there, just enough really to fill it back up. And the reservoir is underneath. I'm filling it now, and what else? I plumb the line up over there. I'll show you from the other end. So that line there is going to fill from this end, and I'll put a T in there because I'll take this off and I'll put a valve here, and that way I can empty the reservoir by opening this valve and putting a bucket here, catching all the water, and using it on the garden. So that, I know I'm going to get some sort of plastic boards and dress, put a board around the top here to dress this up. That looks a bit better. Here is the timer that I've used, and this is the one I was using before on this flood and drain bed. So it comes on every 3 hours and runs for 7 minutes. Now, one thing I know about these timers is I think they've got a lithium battery in them, and if you unplug them or power them off, you can lose all your programs, and or if you leave it unplugged for a while, the battery just dies, and then it's no good. So I just keep this plugged in, and then what I've done here, I'll just use this plug here, and I'll plug that in here for the moment, and I'll turn this on, and we'll see how long it takes to flood this bed, and then I'll adjust this because it's got a bigger pump in it now, and with the 2 fill points I think it'll take a bit less. So we'll have a crack, we'll see how long it takes. So it's filling now, and I can hear it filling down here as well. It's filling there. I don't think this will take too long. I think it'll take about 3 or 4 minutes. Let's see, eh? Get the clock going. It's like watching paint dry. But it will fill. It will fill quickly. Come back to you. sure it's pouring. Okay, so that's taken about 7 minutes to completely flood this bed. You can see here it's starting to pull at the top. You can actually see this pump at this end's a little bit aggressive because, I don't know, anyway. So it's pulling at the top, and I would say it's taken 7 minutes, which is about the run time I had on the system. So what I'll do now is I will just plug that power into the timer and let it run for a day or two just to make sure everything's working okay, and then we'll get some seeds in there, get some radishes in and some other things. Okay, so I've unplugged it out of the power board and plugged it into that timer, and now it will come on every 3 hours for 7 minutes. And now that the pump's not powered, it'll just drain back through the pump into the reservoir down there. Because the pump's unpowered, it'll just bypass the impeller, and we're back in business.